Zaporizhzhia is once again becoming a testing ground for foreign experiments. Instead of sending its own soldiers, the Kremlin is driving a new batch of foreign mercenaries into battle. And these are no longer North Koreans. The recruitment of this motley legion is starting to look more and more like a circus. But Ukrainian soldiers greet them without any sentimentality. One sortie, 4 targets eliminated. What weapon is so ruthlessly precise, and what other surprises have been prepared for the invaders? Details coming up next.
Night is about to fall. Turn off the cameras and open the windows. It's flopping.
Listen carefully to everything around you and peer into the darkness. And that's the first rule on the way to the positions of the 65th Mechanized Brigade south of Orikhiv, and the #1 survival rule near the line of contact when you're not underground. Something is buzzing.
What exactly is that buzzing sound?
All right, back up.
Without a detector that registers the approach of any drone, Seaver, the navigator and commander of the heavy bomber crew, admits they don't take a single step onto the surface anymore. Without the detector, as I understand it, you don't go out onto the surface at all.
Sometimes we do go out, damn. We see it coming up somewhere.
Back up. But their job is such that they have to go out many times every night. Can you say how many sorties you've made in total?
Give or take, approximately.
Take detector.
Yeah, let's really go now. It's definitely coming this way, very quickly. Did it really just pass by then, yeah? Got that perfectly understood. If the enemy is detected, then take immediate action to engage them. Over and out.
Their job essentially is to engage the enemy. This time the duty officer's warning came when the heavy shot 65 was already in the air and approaching the first planned target of the night. Is this roughly the line of contact?
Whoa, yeah, that's already something. Something just flew by. FPV or our Mavic. Repeat. Now we'll start taking theirs apart. They're piling up over there.
Groups of enemy assault troops, says Siver, Brigade Intelligence, and they themselves spot them every night in the Orikhiv-Tokmak direction.
They put camping tents on their heads, raincoats. Raincoats, as you can see. The idiots are running away. Yeah, that's a black square. A black square? Well, on this gray one, there will be a rectangle like that. That's already a bastard. Usually every night they detected groups and destroyed them.
From time to time, enemy vehicles or armored vehicles try to break through to the front line here. So far with the same result, assures Ignis, pilot of the heavy shot 65th.
Guys, our FPV operators, just the other day I saw them, damn, they took out a little tank. Seriously. It was moving, and then damn, right into a box. Come here, check this out. Looks like the mortar started working on it. We watched that beautiful hit. They're actually Caponias, not fragile glass shelters. That's heavy vehicle equipment pushing it over there, you see.
Recently, foreigners have started appearing again in the defense zone of the Veliki Lu Brigade, wearing Russian-style uniforms.
Practically 98% of them are foreigners. Yeah, there are a lot of Chinese individuals, Yemenis, Indians, and many other Arabs. In short, I understand that they also currently have a significant shortage of people who are truly willing to go on dangerous assaults now.
Captured enemy infantrymen said, according to the head of the communications department of the 65th Mechanized Brigade, that the Muscovite unit, made up mostly of foreigners, was being prepared for a long time specifically for assaults in the Zaporizhzhia direction.
One of them said that they had been trained for 5 months specifically for assault operations and specifically for the Zaporizhzhia direction. Right now, assault units of the regular Russian army are being concentrated here, where soldiers undergo rather lengthy training before going to the front lines.
But it doesn't matter to them, assures the sapper of the Ukrainian heavy bomber crew, which enemy to track down. To destroy any enemy, the diver says they have the means.
Nose.
Wow, very.
It's a shaped charge, so it creates a shaped charge crater, and this one is a fragmentation one. There are grooves inside so that they break apart into segments. That's an awesome thing.
A Kyiv native and a swimming coach by profession, and he admits by calling, he now performs explosive manipulations with almost surgical precision.
This is a submunition.
I kneaded it. It's a bit harder when you hold it in your hands. Warmed it up, beat it, kneaded it. Carefully away from your face and put it in there. First time so successful. Oh, that's it. It went into the hole. Another sieve. We finished. Take a look at that face.
On this short July night, the crew of the Kavashot from the 65th Mechanized made more than half a dozen sorties. And every time they had to load the aircraft under the hum of drones in a completely dark sky.
Back up. From here. Well, the work is underway. You're welcome. Well, if only the 120mm mortar could hit like that. They have a margin of error of 50 to 100 there. There's the path. It's from here. That's where we dropped the A on them. I don't think they'll be living there anymore. Well, that was the plan all along. Yeah.
The result of the work, says Cyver, was definitely worth both the effort and the risk today.
Well, statistically, 5 sorties mean 1 assault unit down. 5 of our sorties, minus 1 assault group member. From the Orikhiv-Tokmak section of the front in Zaporizhzhia, Alexander Motorny, Alexander Shian, and Vitaly Ovsyanikov. TSN 1+1.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism, and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine today. Join us now.
It's just an explosion. The Gore has shown the weapon that destroys the enemy behind the lines. Ships and planes are burning one after another. Ukrainian developers have unveiled advanced naval drones, and the world can't believe its eyes. Russia definitely did not expect this. How does this super weapon work, and why is it already changing the rules of the game? Watch right now.
No one has ever done this before them. For the first time in history, Ukraine shot down a military aircraft with a naval drone. Our defense intelligence of Ukraine confirmed the destruction and, as proof, published this video.
And by the way, this is not the first time enemy aircraft have been destroyed. But before this, it was helicopters.
A day later, some details began to emerge. In particular, the head of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, Kirilo Budanov, clarified in an interview with the War Zone that 3 unmanned Magura V-7 boats took part in the attack, 2 of which fired at the aircraft. At the same time, 2 Russian Su-30SM attack aircraft were destroyed. One of the crews was killed while the other managed to eject. The Russians immediately sent a civilian vessel after him, hoping that Ukraine would not violate the rules of war and would not fire on civilians.
Despite the fact that the Ukrainians had many opportunities to destroy this civilian cargo ship along with the Russian military crew, they did not take advantage of them. They saw the crew being evacuated, they circled around the crew struggling in the water, but nevertheless they did not fire a single shot at either the cargo ship or the crew.
It also seems that the situation regarding which missiles the Ukrainian Magura used to fire has become clearer. In particular, a photo appeared online showing a naval drone equipped with an American AIM-9 air-to-air missile. Earlier versions of the drone were armed with Soviet R-73 missiles.
That's what makes it unique. Indeed, the undeniable fact that this is a remote-controlled surface system, a remote-controlled system, which is incredibly important to note, managed to successfully shoot down a manned aerial object. And if we talk about the cost, for example, the Magura, which is around $250,000 to $300,000, and the cost of a Russian Su-30, which is $40 to $50 million, then you can compare or estimate how many times cheaper the means of destruction is compared to the much more expensive target it destroys.
At the same time, analysts point out that the issue here isn't even about the money, although the Kremlin is increasingly having problems with that as well. The main thing is the technology and production capacity, which in Russia have either been lost or are in severe shortage due to Western sanctions.
Every Su-30SM aircraft is worth its weight in gold. The issue is with the components. It's difficult to get them around the sanctions. Moreover, as far as I know, the Su-30SMs as such are either not being produced at all or are barely being produced.
In addition to the obvious results, the destruction of Russian aircraft brought another advantage to the Ukrainian armed forces. The enemy may not be completely suppressed, but they are definitely frightened now. Having lost 2 colleagues, and apparently, after hearing about 2 more who were unexpectedly fished out of the Black Sea, one can only imagine what kind of mood they will now have when flying missions over the Black Sea area.
The crews of Russian aircraft flying over the vast expanse of the Black Sea now fully understand that they no longer possess any inherent safety or security. If they do not visually perceive us and their sophisticated targeting radars fail to detect the presence of our advanced weapon systems, that absolutely does not signify that those formidable weapons are not in fact present and ready, and these very potent weapons, these specific types of modern armaments, have now definitively targeted their aircraft, posing a significant and immediate threat.
By the way, it's not any easier for the pilot's command either. After all, even if the radars detect Ukrainian Magura drones, it no longer automatically means the aviation will be ordered to take off. because now the leadership of the Russian Air Force understands all too well that it's far from certain the next pilots will get away unscathed.
Every time the Ukrainians launch an operation in the Black Sea, Russia faces a tough choice of what to lose: oil and gas platforms, or say, some other installations in the Black Sea, or for example, their assets in Crimea. Because these unmanned boats can also be accompanied by drones. In other words, they're like mini aircraft carriers. Or maybe they'll have to lose another helicopter or a Su-30SM.
That's all from me for now. This was me, Darina Hutsakalo. Even more scorching news from the front in our next episode. And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you soon.